Force, Luke.
Sometimes truth isn't good enough.
I feel the need for speed.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to FrostCast. No, you are not on the wrong stream. This is King Z in the leadoff spot for the first time, and I'm going to be leading us in as we talk about the topics of the week. So let's go ahead and get Winter Wolf in here. He had some adult things to do today, so that's why I'm the leadoff today.
We had some grown-upping to do, and grown-upping was done. Dinner was had. Plans were made. Deals and contracts were signed. And we're all moving in the right direction today, but thank you for stepping in.
And this is why we worked as well as a team.
That's absolutely correct. Here we go.
All right,
I know you have a lot prepped for us, so I'm going to zip the lip and let you run things. You tell me when you need me to talk.
That's right, because we're going to be leading off with a big news story this week. I think it is a perfect casting call for the upcoming Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the upcoming Supergirl movie that's coming out in the DCU, following up the Superman movie. It has not started filming yet, but casting's already started, and I believe this is a perfect casting. So if you go ahead and pull up Lobo real quick, they have casted Jason Momoa as Lobo, which I believe, just look at the pictures. It's like he was born to play this role, not including, he said this is his favorite character in DC.
Right. Isn't Lobo the character that when he had initially auditioned for them to do anything DC related, he wanted to play Lobo first. They were like, we don't have any plans for that character. You want to be Aquaman? And he was probably like, no, Aquaman sucks. And then they gave us Dude Bro Aquaman and made it at least kind of passable for a movie and a half. So I think you're right. I think this is spot on. I mean, look at the dude. Minus the stupid tattoos and Aquaman, that's exactly him. He looks exactly the part. This is a no-brainer. This is Cavill level for Superman, no brainer.
So going forward, we're trying to figure out what the story was. Now, I do know that the title Woman of Tomorrow is an actual comic title that featured Supergirl, and a lot of people say it is one of the best comic runs of the character of all time. So with this type of casting, it looks like they're really putting their efforts here to give us quality movie. I mean, we saw the trailer for Superman. Do you think that they're going to keep it going based on what you've seen so far?
Well, I think that it's inspired casting, and that makes me think that they're taking things seriously, which is nice. I haven't read that particular run of either of those characters in DC. I'm more of a Marvel Image kid from back in the day, but I'd look that up and take a peek at it. But what it tells me is that if you're hearing that it's one of the better runs, that it's resonated with at least some people, and if it's resonated with some fans and some studio guy or James Gunn himself, who's one of those self-proclaimed nerdy kind of guys, if it's something he's knowledgeable about, I don't see how it doesn't keep going as long as he doesn't overgun it. And I think that's going to be an expression we kind of coin here on Winter Wolf's Den. We're going to, like when we get into Superman, like we saw that trailer, like you were just talking, there's a lot going on.
Yes,
there's
there is.
47 cameos. There's, 39 Easter eggs in the background, questions with no answers. Is it overgunned? We don't know. And we're not going to know until like the first maybe real trailer that comes through where they actually talk and drop some story notes, story beats kind of thing. But dude, I'm down for Lobo. Bring in Lobo. You know what I mean? Like we wanted John Stewart Black Lantern. We wanted John Stewart Green Lantern, not Black Lantern. Way too early for that. But like we want people that look like these characters because it helps us bridge the gap from what we're used to on paper on the screen. It just makes it an easy transition for you to really wrap your head around. You know?
Well, the look that they gave Nathan Fillion for, was it Guy Gardner, Green Lantern?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think they did a fantastic job staying true to what the comic book character looks like.
As
Even
terrible as that is.
Yeah,
terrible as it is.
With the old school bowl cut.
Yeah, God, it's bad. This might have been the one time in history you might have heard me saying, listen, guys, maybe the source material, not the way to go on this one. Because I think if they just lined him up without the bowl, nobody would have cared. Because Guy Gardner's more about the attitude and the jacket than it is the stupid haircut. And they've even kind of revised that, I think, for like New 52. Thank you much, my assistant. It's okay. Thanks, bud. So yeah, I think that if this is an indicator, I think this is good. The casting itself for Supergirl is pretty good. It's the young lady that was on House of the Dragon season 1 as young Rhaenyra. She kind of looks the part. I think she'll be okay. I just question whether or not Supergirl might be the second movie you want to throw in the franchise. Like maybe a Wonder Woman movie might have been the play. Like I think we all get the Batman thing. They could have maybe built Superman to Wonder Woman to Batman, get the Holy Trinity out of the way there, and then you start dropping us Green Lantern, Supergirl, Martian Manhunter. I know you're a big fan of. You kill to see that. You know, you bring in some other lesser known characters to flesh this world out. Hawkman, Hawkgirl. We know they exist in world.
Yeah, we've already seen Hawkgirl in the trailer of Superman. So
yep. And a bunch of others. So I mean, I think this is all good news so far to me. I like Momoa in any of the dude bro roles. I think he's just playing himself. It seems more natural and relaxed than when he tries to do the Khal Drogo thing. I haven't watched him on any of those dramatic kind of series that he's been on, like in a couple streaming shows. I don't know that necessarily is his forte. I just need to see him be big and like throw people through walls. That's what I need from him.
Yeah, and that's pretty much his role. He's gone into a more comedic type bad guy as well.
Deadpool-esque.
Yeah, with the joking. Fast and the Furious as the bad guy in that.
Oh, yeah. For sure. He'll end up in the family if he didn't at the end of that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, at some point, he'll be part of it.
Unless he's dead, and even then, they might just what's a posthumously just make him a family member. Yeah,
physics don't matter if you got family.
Got the meme. Some people got sick of the meme. I thought they were all funny. I don't care if they show back up.
I thought they were hilarious.
The one where he's like, Dom, you can't jump the car through space, and they have the meme about the family, and then actually in the second to last movie they actually do this car space jumping thing. I'm like, we just need the time travel one to get it done. That's it. Wrap it up. Fast and Furious with dinos. Calling it. Dude, they're doing it. It's like the Expendables, dude. It's either going to be time travel or aliens. Take your pick. That's all I got left.
But sticking with DC.
What do you got?
Two nights ago, there was the Golden Globes, and we were right. The Penguin didn't clean up, but they at least took home Best Actor in a, was it short series, miniseries?
Original short series, miniseries, or anthology. I know that there was like this long. Like the title for the award was like 10 lines long. It was big.
It's like that really deep subreddit you have to get into. But Farrell took home Best Actor. And Best Female Actor was taken by Jodie Foster in was it True Detective Night Shift?
True Detective, get out of here with that nonsense. Listen, I'm not a True Detective guy. It's not for me. But I know for a fact that season sucked. Its views dropped way off. There's no buzz around that at all on Twitter, week to week, anywhere in social media, Google Trends, anywhere. It's pales in comparison by anybody I've talked to that did the show, season 4 versus season 1. Meanwhile, Merlotti's over here blowing social media up with all kinds of people talking about, she needs to win this award. This is the best performance we've seen in a female character in a long time. It's better than anybody on Game of Thrones, not to mention the thirst trapping that was going on with her in several of those mob boss female dress situations she had going on. How she didn't win, I don't know. It seems bizarre to me. My only figure on that is that maybe they just didn't want to give both of those things to the same show, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
If you win, if you're good and you win, you're good and you win. Like that's just how it should have been. I feel for her. I honestly do. But Farrell dunked on that role hard. Yeah. Deserved every inch of that award.
Forbes even came out with an article was she robbed? I
didn't see that. Oh
yeah.
Snap.
Forbes came out with an article about that, about how she was underplayed and probably got undervoted in this one. But I mean, there's still Emmy season where it should come up in some of the other categories, because in the Golden Globes, it had very limited categories for that type of show, because as you saw, it was very niche type award. Right. Because of the way it broke it down. Best male actor in a miniseries, anthology, and short film made by my brother's sister, something like that. So,
but I just don't get it though. I mean, because I'm imagining, and so there's a bias to being, me imagining it. True Detective is like is supposed to be a serious cop drama. What could Jodie Foster have done in the role of like the sheriff or the detective on that show that this psycho didn't do in Penguin as the mob boss with like the psychotic past and the history at the inpatient setting, the genocide of her family, the making moves, this really? Really?
Yeah. And another thing is like, what did Jodie Foster do that we haven't seen her do before? We know she's a
This-
fantastic actress.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is a woman that's been acting for what, 40 years? I think she's in her late 50s, early 60s somewhere. Like we know this. I've never heard of Kristen Merlotti before. And maybe she's been in a bunch of good things that I don't know, but I know her now. There's no forgetting the performance, especially that ending where she's like, I'm back in Arkham, I'm boned. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I have a half sister out there. Revenge.
I know her from 3 different things. She was in How I Met Your Mother. She was in Wolf of Wall Street. And then she was in a movie.
How I Met Your Mother.
I forgot the name of it, but it's with Andy Samberg, where it's like a Groundhog Day type movie.
Oh, cool. So she's a known commodity, but she wasn't to me. But this, honestly, her performance in this must have blown away everything you just said in terms of the range being on display. No way around that. So hopefully, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. You said the Emmys are next. That's the next big show.
Yeah, for that type of show. I mean, you have the Oscars and the Emmys are coming up, but there's nothing for it from the Oscars because it's not a movie. So
right, that's Oscars a movie only, right? Well, fingers crossed then. But congratulations to Colin Farrell. I think a lot of people probably didn't think that was going to be coming his way when the show was like kind of announced and we got first looks and we're like, oh, why is he in a fat suit? What's with the prosthetics? It's the Penguin. Is there going to be lots of like snorting and waddling and one-liners and jokey jokes? And I'm like, no, dude, he had like a bum leg, so he had like a messed up gait while he was walking, but there was no snorting, no chortling, none of that. Like he was a psycho, and every bit of that performance and every scene was chewed for psycho.
And he pretty much got the nickname Penguin because he waddled when he walked.
Right.
It wasn't because he had fins for hands and everything like that.
They did hook him up with the beak nose though. They did kind of,
and the eyebrows. The way they did the eyebrows, where he looked like a king penguin. Yeah,
but otherwise he had the bad teeth. He had the bad teeth with gold teeth, which is always a funny combination. The pockmarked, chewed up face. Like, dude, he looked like somebody you don't want to mess with. Which, if you had ever told me they can make the Penguin menacing ever live action, I'm like, no, you can't. Danny DeVito's not menacing in any situation, except when, anyways, he started blasting. That's the only one. So there we go on Colin Farrell.
So with the Penguin and its success and how it's pretty much set up the villain for the Batman Part 2 as being the Penguin, you saw the little teaser at the end of the last episode. With Marvel failing with its television show runs where they don't really do much for the movies, how would you feel if a series could set up a movie like the Penguin season 2 sets up for the Batman Part 3, the villain in that, and how that villain is linked to the Penguin is the story of the show that links to the Batman. Like, you have everything going on that builds up that villain, and then you need the movie to bring in Batman to go against that villain.
I think that works. Because that's more or less the pattern Marvel did with their movies only for the longest time, is one thing, set up the next thing in a shared universe, only set up one next thing. And it just kind of worked linearly. They just went in a line. And they were very clear up front initially when they did the old show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like, movies are here, show is here. This isn't going to happen. Like, we're not going to allow anything to pee in the pool. Where they screwed up later with the Disney Plus shows on Marvel is that shared universe became overbloated with garbage product that undermined the movie projects and set up things that never came to pass or undid things that people enjoyed. Like, there's not a single damn thing that came out of any of these MCU shows that set anything up on the big screen that I wanted to see. We got to Endgame, you dumped WandaVision on me. I bailed on that quick after the Gina Carano stuff, and I never looked back until we started doing like Secret Invasion stuff and we started a channel. But like, what came out of Miss Marvel that inspired anybody to go see the Marvels? Nothing. What came out of Hawkeye that makes you want to go back, that makes you want to watch Echo? Nothing. Like, that's just Ramrod stuff that breaks down on its own. DC Studios rather has that shot that you were just talking about. If they use one show to set up one movie, which then has a resolution that maybe hints at what the next show is, but there's only one. At the end of Batman 2, we can get a Penguin season, whatever, and a Joker show. I'm just saying. But then both of those should probably lead into their next target film and not keep doing these branching pathways, because that's almost worse than multiverse shit at this point. It's convoluted. That's what happened to Marvel, convoluted.
Look at what happened to the Sony villain verse.
Exactly.
that's what you're going to get. You don't have any of the heroes, and then you're trying to have a sympathetic bad guy, where the Penguin, you thought that's what you were going to get. You're like, oh, we're going to root for the bad guy, and no, he just shows this how bad he is.
Yep. I mean, do we have any empathy or sympathy for him? Like, in flashes, maybe, but I thought the minute they gave us that episode where they showed he was complicit in how his brothers died, I'm like, oh, that's it. That's a fucking wrap. Like,
And then
I'm done here.
In the last 10 minutes of the final episode,
dude, I'm still goosebumping over here because that's so Norman Bates weird. It's like it's beyond obscene how disturbing that was. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, they can use, if he runs his course with the season 2 that sets up what would be Batman 3. I'm all done with the Penguin. I think that character's had its run. And then if they want to transition out of Batman 3 into that Clayface show that I hear they're going to do, like, maybe that's the play. And then that sets up a villain I watch 8 episodes and boom, big screen appearance in Batman 3. Like, maybe that's the move. That could work, but it just has to stay organized. There needs to be a plan. You can't just throw it against the wall like phases, 3, 4, and 5? Is
no, 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Right. I can't do that
well,
again.
4 and 5, because 6 is the start of the new one.
Is the Doomsday stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there needs to be a plan. It needs to stay organized. It needs to stay cogent. There needs to be a James Gunn on top of it that's interested in the projects and doesn't bow to outside pressures to change things for whatever agenda related reason you can come up with. I'll leave it at that. We're not a political show.
He stays on site.
Yep, stays on site.
All right. Well, with that said, we're going to lead into what our thumbnail was all about and the main topic of tonight's discussion, which is the upcoming 2025 movie and television series.
Wait. Are we doing the trailer or no?
Yes, that's what I was leading into.
Oh, my bad. You said with the thumbnail. It's not on the thumbnail. My bad. Keep going.
We were going to kick this off by watching the new release of The Last of Us Season 2.
He got to the last sentence and I was like, now hold on. We're off the rails. We're going to go. All right. My bad.
Who's the quarterback? Sit down and take your rest and let me finish up week 18 here.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Comfy. Okay. Here we go.
All right. So, Oracle, please pull up that trailer.
I'm hyped for this. When I heard it was out, I definitely got a little hyped for it. All rights, HBO.
Yep.
We are adding creative commentary within fair use. That's Abby.
It doesn't matter if you have a code like me. There are just some things everyone agrees are just wrong.
Ooh. I thought there was a jump scare coming. I thought there was a jump scare coming.
Having one of the runners come through would have been perfect. I think that would have, but that was a great ending visual.
I was hoping, and this is just me, I wanted some of the like the OG score from season 1 of the game, that guitar riff, like maybe that probably being like the big trailer. Like, this is just a teaser with a minute, but I bet they cue up that guitar stuff. That's hauntingly Last of Us. But what did you think of that? Just, it was only a minute. It was dark. What did you think?
I think that it did great to set up that this story will not be centered around Joel and Ellie, that you're going to see a new character introduced in her story, which is, I think, stays on par with the game.
Yeah, for about 60% of the game, actually.
Yeah, and then like you saw, I mean, there was a lot of just great visuals. You saw the infected coming in, like ramming into the wall. You see them.
That head smash against the wall was no joke. I'm like, oh god, because it was like dominoes, like crack, crack, crack. That was pretty slapping.
So yeah, it has me excited. I was very happy with the first season. So if they keep the production value, I mean, and we do know it's HBO, they've built that trust. You kind of know what you're getting into when you're going into this. So I think that trailer's staying on par with what we get from HBO streaming and The Last of Us.
It looked tonally and like aesthetically consistent too, especially when we had the daylight shots where it was the folks outside. It was probably a camp somewhere, like a compound with the snow and like they're
yeah. I think that's Jackson City, where his brother is.
Yes, yep, that's exactly what I was thinking it was. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's where the second game picks up. I think it starts there because, of course, we're looking at a controversial, maybe changing cast of characters in season 2 here on the show. I'll leave it at that. I won't spoil anything for anybody that hasn't played the games, but they could be looking down the barrel of that. It'll be interesting to see if they go that route, how the viewership takes it, because there were fans of the game that were not thrilled with that at all, led to all kinds of channels being struck, over rumors and all, not even like the media being displayed, just people talking about it spoiler style ahead of the launch, got channels like marked for deletion. It was crazy. But I thought it looked good. I did enjoy season 1. I think we both gave it something like a 9 out of a 10 scale, or an 8.5 or a 9.
Yeah, it was very well done. It was very well done. It stayed close to the game.
Yep,
you fought it had a good through story, minus episode 3, even though it was a good episode. It just didn't fit into
make that disclaimer.
The story. Yeah.
Yep. The chemistry in season 1 with Ellie and Joel were pretty pimp. I liked it. That they kind of hit the feeling of the found family, wolf and cub, daddy daughter thing that that Joel lost in his life that she had never had because her parents were gone. So I think that worked out good. There's a complexity with Ellie's relationship in this one because she starts to realize some of the decisions Joel made at the end of the first game to save her might not have been. We see that at the end of the season 1 too, where she's like, tell me, you did what you had to do. I remember there was that closing shot where they're up on the hill looking back down over where the Firefly base was, or they're driving away. Yeah. Like a lot of that comes up in the story that they have to kind of work through. And then the Abby character that's played by, I think it's Caitlin, is it Dever? She was in that sci-fi alien movie we watched a year ago. No one will save you. That's her. Like the lead character from that. So we know she's a banger. She can act. She handled that whole movie and only spoke, what was it?
7
words?
lines.
7
7 words.
Lines. It was words.
Yeah, 7 words.
Total words. It was crazy. So she doesn't really look, the Abby character is kind of 2018 politically motivated. So she's a certain type of woman they hint at. And that's not Caitlin, whatever her name is. But I mean, who knows? Aesthetic choices to make it palatable for TV, I guess. But hype trailer. It's coming out in April. I had no idea it was out that soon, and it's not even soon, I guess, because it's been like 18 months, right? It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Was 23?
Yeah, I was on the road when we did it.
Yeah, that's right. It was 23. So so we're due. Here we go. I'm ready for it. We'll take a peek, and that'll overlap our Daredevil coverage. So we're gonna be super busy through April.
Let's go ahead and just jump into the shows first, and then we'll do the movies after.
That's why I did that.
Because I think we're gonna have a lot of overlap. All right, go ahead and pull up page 1.
We got that much? We got pages?
We got page. That's page 2.
Snap. You had one job, Oracle. One job.
There we go. Page 1.
There we are.
All right.
This little lineup, and it's varied. It's not all just superhero crap. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's shows that piqued interest, and a lot of them do have good fan following, so that's why I threw it on there. A couple other new ones that are popping up that are like mini series that might be fun to watch, I threw on this list. Starting off with January 29th, the first one that I can see coming out, and that's the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the animated that's in another universe.
Yeah. Now, have you seen any of this in preview form or screen grabs?
I have seen a little bit of it.
What did you think of the animation?
The animation it's not as good as the 1997 Spider-Man animated series, but it's on par with modern day animation.
Yeah, that's not good enough for me though.
I know they tried to go with the same people who did X-Men 97.
Yeah.
And I think they dropped the ball on that.
I've seen a couple of I've seen some of those clips. It doesn't look great, and you just said it's an alternate universe. That makes me feel a little bit better because I'm not down with some of the swaps they did to main characters on this show. Like the Osborns as a family got the race swap. MJ is apparently Asian on this show. I think I was hearing there was another major switch out too. I can't remember what it was. I'm like, oh, come on, are we not done with this yet? But then again, the show's, if it's coming out now, it's been produced over the last 2 years when we were in the middle of all that kind of insanity. You can't right the ship in the middle of a $1 billion animation or whatever it costs.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Animation usually takes 3 to 4 years.
This is what I'm saying. So this is 2024, 2020, 2021 coming out now in January of all months. And what do we know about January? Dumping ground. So animation's not usually something we cover on the channel, but maybe we could peep an episode, just kind of talk quick about it, give some thoughts. Cool.
Then February, we have 2 shows coming out, not on our usual lineup for the show, but there's one called 0 Day, which could be an action thriller miniseries starring Robert De Niro of pretty much the collapse because there's 0 day vulnerability in some of our systems. I didn't see the full trailer. I just read the synopsis real quick, and that's what it popped up. It looked interesting. You see the American flag there on the poster. The other one I saw that was upside down, which means country in distress. So
it's got De Niro. That's got some bang to it. I mean, I don't like him politically, but I mean, I can't deny who and what he is as an actor. I mean, the guy's got what he's got.
Yeah, and it's a Netflix drop, so I do believe this is going to be a all 8 episode drop,
which we know you like, and the Wolf does not like. It's so stupid. And
but you can do a whole series on a show like this that we usually don't cover. Having a drop like that, we can watch the whole thing and then just do one video to review it instead of wait week to week, because it's not our normal type of show.
That's fair, except that Netflix has gotten hip to people doing that, and you know that because they just screwed people with Squid Game with that season 2. They're going to give people 4 episodes of 0 Day on February 20th, and then they're going to make you come back in March to get the other 4. So we won't be doing one video on that. They are going to get us. I heard Squid Game 2 wasn't good, by the way. I'm probably not going to watch it. Anyway, tell me more about Suits, because I know this is more your jam. You watched the original. The non-spin-off, the OG. Tell me about that.
With Harvey Specter and Mike Ross story. Now, what this is a spinoff of a prosecutor from New York who went out to LA and started his own law firm, played by his none other than Stephen Amell. It's going to be his law firm. He's taking over the Harvey Specter role in this show. I don't know many of the other cast members. I just don't know who they are. I saw who they were. I just don't know who they are. But it's going to go more into criminal and entertainment law, where Suits was more like corporate law.
Okay. So what kind of tone can I expect from the show? Because I didn't watch Suits, so I get the genre. But is it comedic? Is it dramatic? Is it like Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, Mad Men?
It's more like L.A. law, like a
procedural.
Procedural law type thing, where you actually follow their kind of life as well, going through it.
All right, that's interesting enough. Maybe we give that a check and see if it's cool. You're right. It's not usually, that's not our usual channel fodder, but dude, if it's out there pulling in 20 million viewers a show, you can bet your ass we're gonna watch some of that for review.
And you definitely should at least watch the first season of the original Suits before it comes out.
It's one of the most streamed things on Netflix. I think it had like 2 billion watch minutes when they got it. Or some, and it still gets that monthly or some shit. It's crazy.
The first episode is one of the best setups I've seen to a show premise that I've ever seen. So I
do
really
like strong setups.
That.
There's a lot of learning to be done from great setups and shows like that. Cool.
Then let's get into the first show that we're going to do a weekly review of, guaranteed, and that is Daredevil Born Again, with Charlie Cox coming back as Daredevil and Victor Dafoe coming back as Kingpin.
Nope. Try again.
How do you say his last name?
You didn't get his first name right, dude.
Is it Vincent?
Yes.
D'Onofrio.
There we are. Oracle for the save.
Oh, I would be so lost.
You missed it by that much. It was close. You get a shift. It's just a little left.
Just go home. Are you too good for your home?
Answer me. Right. Dude, trailer for that we should watch too, by the way.
There's a new trailer for that one?
Yes. Also on the Flicks. And it's on the Flicks, FYI, because it's Adam Sandler, of course. With the 10-picture deal. But anyways, Daredevil, dude, I know you're hyped for this because you've been talking about this since like last spring, like spring 2024. You're like, dude, I heard they're throwing out all the crap they made at Disney Marvel, and they're bringing back Netflix Marvel writers because Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are like, this show sucks, and we kind of don't want it to get out there with us in it and it being a suck show.
Yeah, they were
Tell me-
removing key characters with Karen and Froggy, and
Terrible.
yeah, so they fought back, and the actors actually got something made that both of them say that they're really proud of. So I'm kind of really excited to see this. So,
Dude, tell me again, remind me. They threw out like 90% of what they had shot, not what they wrote.
yes,
Like they shot 12 episodes of 16 or whatever the fraction was.
it was
And they were
18
just like, no, no.
episodes, and I
Yes.
think they were through 9 of them.
It was some stupid fraction, like half or 7. I don't remember what it was, but they were like, yeah, no. And now our usual complaint is every time Marvel does this, because we'll probably talk about this on the movie side with Brave New World and Thunderbolts asterisk, that they reshoot these things into oblivion and then make it that way they can't gain profitability, because once the word of mouth gets out how bad it is, no one's going on weekend 2, 3, and 4. The series have an even harder road to go, bigger hill, because none of these shows I feel like ever actually bring in subscribers to Disney Plus. Not in the same way that like the Penguin and House of the Dragon absolutely got people to sign up at least temporarily for Max. But we don't have any data that says Marvel has ever increased Disney's numbers. In fact, Disney's quarterly postings usually show a decline in viewership. So is Daredevil going to right their ship in 2025? Not that it'll turn them into the stratosphere, but are they going to get soloed? The last thing sucks, so I won't watch the new thing.
And that's the sad thing, as I said over with when we were talking about Dune Prophecy and we were talking about Skeleton Crew, is that Disney lost their credibility. They lost the trust of the audience. So they're giving it a very short rope. Or just enough rope to hang themselves so people would turn it off. But I do believe with the actors, we've always said with an actor cares, the director cares that you get a better product, which we're going to talk about here coming on April 22nd here.
Hold on, let me ask you one more thing about Daredevil, because I know the numbers on this one are a little different in terms of show run. They threw out whatever number of episodes versus their total that they had. Do we know what we're getting in its final form now?
I believe it's 8 episodes now.
Okay, so they're back down to that number. So then follow-up question number 1. Are we suspecting that because they threw out so much, that we're only going to get this abbreviated cartoon-length bullshit like 25 minutes? Or do you think Cox and D'Onofrio had some pull and they were like, nah, dog, this needs to be a serious show? What do you think? Did your gut tell you anything?
I think that they're going to pull off a good, like, average 46-minute show. I think it might have some fluctuation in week to week.
Marvel always does.
But I think it's going to stay between the 43, 56-minute episodes for the show run.
And then last follow-up question on Daredevil. If it's got 8 episodes, the rule of the channel is typically that we watch 3 episodes of anything, regardless of kind of what the show length is. So we're going 3 of 8 to make our determination, because as Kingsley usually points out at some point during the show, these mini series typically have mini arcs within them in blocks of 2 or 3 episodes. So you're probably going to get a 3 of 3 and then the 2 episode setup finale thing with something like Daredevil. They've done it before. So we'll watch at least that first act of shows to see where we're going. Cool.
Yeah. One other thing to take away from this is that Charlie Cox has been cast as Daredevil in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie.
Okay, now does that mean he's just going to walk into somebody's apartment and catch a brick thrown through a window again, like he did in the other thing, or is he actually going to be in the movie?
I think he's suiting up as Daredevil.
What movie was that? Was that No Way Home? Did he did that?
No Way Home.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he was
lawyering up for Tom
lawyer.
Holland. Yeah, he was Tom Holland's lawyer. That's right. So yeah, I'd like to see him actually in it, because I think that's one of the rare examples, and probably Kingpin too, that like you can take great characters from the show and drop them in universe in New York with the Avengers or with the Fantastic Four, even when they start to bring in the first family, and it'll just be seamless because those guys are pros and people the characters. Not so much the Marvels, not so much Echo, new Hawkeye with Kate Bishop, that whole Young Avengers thing. That shit's never happening, guys. Don't hold your breath. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Anyway, let's talk Last of Us real quick, because we just did that a minute ago.
Yeah, we just did that. So yeah, Last of Us
coming out.
It would be in April, so there's going to be some overlap of these next 3 episodes, or these next 3 shows, because I believe we're going to be covering all 3 of them.
Dude, I didn't even think that. But again, Andor season 2 right there. We've been waiting for that so long. Like, it feels like to me we just reviewed season 1, but it's legit been like 2 years.
It's been over 2 years since
that was year 1 of Winter Wolf's Den was Andor.
Yeah.
Was that the first show we did?
That was the first show we did together.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying, dude. Welcome back, fucking Cash-in Andor. Great.
Yep. And they said that this show is going to be a little bit different than the season 1. There's going to be time hops in it. So it's not going to be a consistent show of what Andor went through. Like they had micro hops, I would say, in season 1. This one's going to have bigger hops in it. But as long as they bring back Salzgard and the same character.
Luthen Vale.
Yeah, Luthen Vale.
Everything. Awesome.
I think this show will be on point. And we were talking about Daredevil, where the actors and the director care. It's a different project. The first one we saw that with was Andor when it came to Disney Star Wars. The showrunner, the director, the actors all cared about making a good project to carry off of the love and praise of Rogue One.
And everything felt professionally done in there too. Like even some of the side characters that didn't amount to much on the show yet. Like not the there was the female lead who was with the Imperial Security Bureau, the blonde woman. I can't remember her name, right? Her boss, like the guy she answered, not like the guy she was competing with, like the older guy. He was hysterical in that curmudgeon-y role. And you're like, dude, an Empire guy, he might actually be like that. He might actually just be sick of this bullshit. You know, there was good stuff there. I think the only thing that annoyed me about that show was the dude that lived with his mom. And I'm like, if he just kills her in episode 1 of season 2, I'd be like, okay, we got some Norman Bates psycho shit going. And they angled for that. They're angling that guy to be like that. So maybe they do that.
Yeah, the serial scene is that one really bugged you.
Oh, dude, I'm not over that yet because it was like 12 minutes long. But like Andor, they've had their show order cut down, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like originally it was a 4-year show. I think, are they getting one more after this? I don't think they're getting all 4
I don't think so.
Yet.
I think this is it. This one ends where this season ends where Roe picks up.
Yes. So you're right. They're going to do a bunch of time jumps, but I think the show can handle that because I think one of the arcs they're going to drop is all that nonsense with I'm looking for my sister bullshit. I don't think that ever gets mentioned again. I think that's an absolute wrap. You know, it amounted to nothing.
Yeah.
In season 1.
And you can see that it is also did a 12-episode run, just like the first season.
That's tiny on the screen. Cool. Yeah, that's what these shows need. Grown-up shows need more than 6 to 8. I'm sorry, especially if we flip back to Daredevil for a second. If 2 of those 8 shows are only 28 minutes, like not total time, like 28 minutes of content, it's not enough to justify the plot. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't.
No, I mean
anything except Dune Prophecy, but that was 6 hours and then an hour and 20-minute finale.
Yeah. You have to go back to Netflix Daredevil, that first season, like all of them were like 56, 58, hour and 10, 50.
And there were like 16 of them or whatever. There was a lot. It wasn't 8. Oh, fingers crossed. Hopefully season 2 doesn't get soloed because that's what happened here to Andor. It came on the heels of a movie that got dunked on, maybe a little unfairly. It's not the greatest. Solo wasn't a great film, but it was on the heels of TLJ and people were pissed. So right now I'm good with Star Wars for the next couple of iterations, you know?
And like I said, after Andor, they need to just leave Star Wars alone. Let people want to see another Star Wars movie. Build that was that the absence.
I was just gonna say we need to hit them with the whole "it's not you, it's me" treatment, and just kind of we need to go our separate ways, see other people. You know,
we need to take a break.
Trip to Venice, right? We need to take a break. We were on a break. Young guys don't know about that show, but it's still a classic. Anyway, what else we got? We got page 2 of shows. We got movies. Where are we on to?
Yes, let's go to page 2.
Here we go. Well, this is a effing collection of different stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Good Lord, dude. You got kid shit, sci-fi shit, goth shit, clown shit. I'm wanting to say that all day. It's a wild day at work. Look at all this stuff.
Yep. So first off, we have in June, we have Ironheart. Now, here's the thing about Ironheart. Ironheart's been in the can for like 2 years now, and it just hasn't been released.
Yeah. Dumpster fire. I've seen the teaser trailer. The suit looks like crap. Nobody likes the character. The book's been canceled 47 times. Just stop it. Young Avengers is not happening, people. I get it. It's in the can. You got to put it out there. But you should quietly release this now in January without a single note of marketing being like aired out and just move on. Because all this is going to do is piss off anybody heading into Daredevil, heading into Thunderbolts, heading into Brave New World. Just stop it. Yeah.
It looks like the next three are all Marvel, and these are I did ones that I saw that had definite dates.
Mhm.
That's why I put them in order of their release date. Which the next one is a 3-episode release of Marvel Zombies coming out on October 3rd.
I'm pretty hyped for that, dude. Did you ever read any of those comic runs?
No, I did not. I never saw anything with the zombies. I didn't even watch the What If episodes. They did a What If episode
on Marvel Animation, right?
Yeah, and now it's getting its own spinoff.
The comic is particularly gruesome. Like it's not unless they completely sterilize it down. Like it wouldn't be for kids. This might actually be pretty solid to cover in October. They've done a couple of comic runs. I don't know how many they've done. I have the original, but it was just weird seeing like the superheroes that you know and love get absolutely dumpstered, like, and have no answer to a zombie outbreak. Because when you think of crap like Night of the Living Dead, what do you think? You're like, all right, dude, if I was just home in my spot and I had my loadout and this and that, I'd be okay. Dude, but when you see like Iron Man get zombified, you're boned. Like, you know, you're boned. Like that's it. Thor can be Iron Man. Zombies can eat Galactus. Really? Like, you know, if that happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're kind of boned.
Hi, Zap Things. Welcome, and thanks for joining us.
What's up, dude? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that because that could be our Halloween coverage there. I'd like to jump down one before we do Wonder Man because I thought I saw that Welcome to Derry is also up for October. That they were trying to slide that in on, is it HBO Max or Peacock? I don't remember.
It's HBO Max, just like the other Stephen King. Like they own the rights to the Stephen King.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. It's been on there. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't see a date. That's why I put it down in the TBD 2025.
Don't quote me, but I thought that was their move, is that they were aiming for fall and probably October.
It's probably the same thing for Wednesday there too.
That'd be a great comp to run, but I mean, do they want to do Welcome to Derry versus Wednesday, which killed on Netflix the November they brought that out for season 1? That was like their record for the year. Like that was their most popular stream thing that year that came out. So that's a banger. And then you got Stranger Things right behind that. Like they have to space those two out. They don't want those two competing in house. Like that'd be wild. So cool. Yeah, so let's roll back to Wonder Man though. What do you got?
If I was it, I would go with a June release of Stranger Things for the summer binge fest, and then you go with September, October release of Wednesday.
Halloween season. Facts. And then the chips fall where they wait for HBO Max. I think HBO Max, like you said, they know they have credibility banked with some of the bangers they put, even with House of the Dragon kind of falling off, like I told you a little bit, and with the last couple of episodes. Not that they were bad, they were just kind of disappointing, but like technically they were okay to watch. Dragons and shit, that's always not a bad time. HBO Max can put out Welcome to Derry whenever they want. They'll get eyeballs on it because it's still a thing. There's Pennywise merch everywhere. The characters in the show, you know what I mean? Like nobody's. This isn't Morbius and Craven and Madam Web that are about Pennywise, but with no Pennywise. Like, this ain't that. So.
And then we have a December 24th release of Wonder Man, which I kind of like the premise of this one.
I'm not too familiar with the character, but I know they race swapped him. So right off the rip, I'm like,
that part I don't mind because what the premise of this show is that he's an actor trying to get the job to play Wonder Man, and then he becomes Wonder Man.
I did hear that he's a fraud at first. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I can be intrigued.
That's actually a fun way to change up the source material to have some fun with it. I think this show could be that fun. If you watch the franchise, it's kind of, I think, going to have a lot of that type of feel.
I need to watch that. I do need to watch that. Thank you for the reminder.
Watch and enjoy the first season. To the second season's not happening. Got canceled.
Oh, swing and a miss, Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yep. They canceled it. It's not getting a season 2.
I take a look at Wonder Man. Like, he's not, I mean, maybe he is modern day and I don't know. He's not an A-list Marvel character that I'm familiar with. So if they do a background swap, race swap, economic swap, whatever, some kind of swap meet, I don't know. Whatever they swap, we're swapping recipes. I don't know. If they do any of that to a character like that, I guess I don't care as much when they just try to tell me, well, Wolverine's black and female now. I'm like, no, he's not. That's the hill I'll die on. No, sorry, he's not. Yeah, we'll take a peek at that. It's a Marvel show. We cover all the Marvel stuff here, except the animated stuff.
Yeah, and then Wonder Man is also like Ironheart. It's been done for years. It's just been sitting on the shelf.
Oh, I didn't know that because I thought they were still putting together stuff because did they have an accident on set recently, like within the last 5 or 6 months? And I think somebody died. Like I think one of the crew actually was injured and fatally killed. I didn't think it was in the can. Interesting. I'll have to go back and check that. Maybe that was something else.
Yeah, they were
Must be
talking.
related
I was watching a video and they were talking about like Marvel's trying to get some of the stuff that they've already shot out there just to get it
Yeah.
out there and just get rid of it type thing.
The time for that is not December, by the way, because I think that's holiday season. You can have eyeballs on TV. Kids in particular are on school vacations. Adults are home on certain jobs from plant shutdowns and things.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if that's the kind of show you want to watch. I mean, maybe if it's kid friendly, maybe that's the angle. I don't know. But what else we have on this slate? Because we definitely got to talk movies, and I'm rambling. I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, we got two more shows that we haven't mentioned. We have the A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, based off of that one book that's been published since. Was it Winds of Fire or something like that?
It's supposed to be Winds of Winter. It's been, according to the Oracle, 13,000 days or whatever it's been. No, we're not getting the book. No, it's not going to happen. Please, George, finish the damn book. I don't know enough about the Game of Thrones lore to give like an expert analysis on this character. I know it comes up a lot in one of the Maester's explanations of like Westerosi history kind of thing. He's supposed to have had the kind of escapades that took him all around the country. So it's interesting. If it's as good as House of the Dragon, they've got another banger, obviously. If it's some Witcher level crap, yikes.
We'll see. And once again, we'll go with that. It is going on the king of streaming platform, Max. Yep. So it could have a good run. It's definitely going to be produced well.
Where is this Blade Runner show? The text is a little small for me with the
it's going to be on Amazon Prime.
All right, so that's a 50-50 for us because we like Fallout. You enjoyed the thing you were just talking about there, the franchise. Reacher's pretty good. It's got some okay shows, but it has Rings of Power.
And that was one thing I did forget to put on this list, and I just saw it, is Reacher season 3 is coming out this year.
Okay. That has its fans. I like the Terminal List on Prime is another good one.
Well, I mean, the guy they got to play Reacher actually looks like Reacher, unlike Tom Cruise in the movies.
6'4" and built like a linebacker. Yeah, right now, exactly. Blade Runner could be fun. We don't get a lot of good sci-fi, to be honest with you. Like what was the last good sci-fi show we watched? I mean, Fallout doesn't really.
Yeah, it falls into sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's like dystopian future, ballistic weapons, not any teleporters, synthetics, and they had robots. I guess it is sci-fi. They had mutants. Yeah, right. It's got enough of that. I want like harder sci-fi, though. AI, transcending consciousness, lasers.
Well,
Blade Runner doesn't have lasers either.
We just had Dune Prophecy.
No lasers. No AI. They had shields.
They had AI. That was the bad guy.
Don't tell anybody. You're gonna get them all in trouble. And then, you forgot that we didn't mention Percy Jackson. I'm looking forward to that. I think you are as well. Yeah. We enjoyed season 1. I'm ready for season 2 based on book 2 or the bridge between book 1 and 2. I don't remember. We had a viewer that explained to us kind of the timeline there of events. I thought they said back in the day there that season 2 will probably be a crunched up version of book 2. I thought that's what was said back
which then. Is Sea of Monsters, I believe.
Sea of Monsters, right. Cool. And that's TBD this year. Again, I think that'd make for a good August, like a back to school show to carry you into Halloween. I think it'd be perfect placement for that.
Yeah.
Space it out.
But that's just the shows. Let's get into the movies.
Here we go.
Now, I'm not taking credit for creating this graphic, but I did steal it properly. So,
Winter West End is not responsible for the use of this graphic. All rights reserved.
And the first one that shocked me is it's been a little bit since I've been to the theater. Then we went to go see Homestead, review pending, and I saw this poster hanging on the wall, Wolfman. So we have another Wolfman movie, and I actually enjoyed the picture on it because she's there covering her eyes, but it's making
a good one.
W.
It's a good one. Have you not seen the trailers for this? Are everywhere. Have you not seen these?
No, I haven't. I haven't watched much TV.
I mean, it busts on my YouTube all the time. Like it just breaks into what I'm watching repeatedly.
Oh, I don't get ads.
Movie review. Oh, dude, you're that guy or whatever. So, dude, when we're done the show, definitely check it out. If you like the theater poster, you'll like this. You'll 100% like this.
Okay.
I don't think it's the kind of movie. It's not. You know how Nosferatu is kind of currently getting dunked on for being kind of long and like drawn out in the middle, like a classic black and white horror movie. This ain't that. Like this ain't that by a long shot. So go check that trailer out for sure.
Are we thinking more of like American Werewolf in Paris type feel to it?
It's more of a contained family drama because the trailer makes it look like the dad gets infected while they're on vacation somewhere, and then it becomes like a purge-like situation, I think, where the family needs to survive against dad until daylight or kill him or something. This is just my speculation, but it's rated R, 100%. You've seen the trailer, you saw the poster. There's no shot it's a PG-13. I think you just go watch the trailer. Go watch the trailer for sure. Lots of stuff on this collage though. Love Hurts, probably a horror movie. I don't know anything about that. We've talked before about Captain America: Brave New World.
We've talked that one to death. I'm still excited to see it.
That's what I was saying.
I'm ready for a reboot for the MCU, and I think this could technically be.
And you've got your fingers crossed, and I'm like, it's been reshot too many times. There's no way it's any good. Snow White. I have some strong opinions on Snow White and Rachel Zegler. We've all heard those.
This is going to be a dumpster fire.
Oh, dude, it's going to be a $450 million dumpster fire, not counting marketing by the time that's done. Alto Nights, I just looked up before the show because I didn't know what it was. It's a Robert De Niro based mob boss kind of show set in the 50s, I think. So it's like a period piece, time piece. That could be okay. Yeah, maybe De Niro's De Niro. That's what he does. Is he typically plays mob bosses.
Here's the that's the overhype that's trying to crash completely is the Minecraft movie.
Okay. So before we talk Minecraft real quick, I just got a text from a friend watching the show who didn't put it in chat like she should have. She's asking if the Wolfman's more like the one with Benicio del Toro. No, because this one looks completely present day and not like it's set to be a period piece in like Victorian era Scotland or wherever that was, out on the moors. Lots of mist and moonlight and Gothic castles and structures, things like that. I think it's very present day. There's cars and trucks in the trailer, like they're hiding in one like Cujo style. But thank you. Next time in the chat, please. That'd be great. Drive the algorithm. Minecraft, though. People are hit or miss. People like Jack Black. People like Jason Momoa.
I think Jack Black's going to be fine. I think people are going to get turned off just by the lack of story and then the overdone. Like people are complaining like they complained about the first Sonic before they fixed it.
Except they didn't fix it here.
No, except they didn't fix it here.
But what do you do? The charm of Minecraft is that everything's built out of blocks. So you have to have blocky sheep and pigs and piglins or whatever the monsters are called. You know, like you need that. But it just reeks of Jumanji to me. Like that's how we all got sucked into the world. I don't know. Mickey 17 was a little sci-fi action. It's got Robert Pattinson in it. We saw it's by the guy that wrote in dark comedy, horror comedy, something like that, because it's by the guy that did Parasite. So there's probably some epic cloning, organ harvesting nonsense coming out of this. Could be okay. Until Dawn, I think we talked about once or twice before, based on an epically good, epically fun PlayStation game. It's one of those kind of, you play quick time events in a movie as it's kind of unfolding. You make branching decisions, so there's some replay value. It's basically a bunch of college kids that revisit the site of a tragedy a year later to kind of reminisce, and bad shit happens.
Yeah, I actually had fun playing that game. I rented it from Redbox and played that game.
Dude, great. Dude, if you haven't played the other games made by that company, it's called the Dark Anthology or the Dark Pictures Anthology. Find them all and play them. They're all good. They're all great.
Doesn't this have the voice and like they did the face of the guy from Mr. Robot? He was also the Egyptian in Night at the Museum. He played. He was
in the game or in the movie.
He's in the game. Like it looked like him. I thought it was him.
I mean, dude, it's been like 5 years since I played it. I don't remember. I remember more of the story than I remember what the characters look like.
Okay.
You're just basically trying to survive the night. That's why it's Until Dawn. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. It's been confirmed.
Good eye. Running through a couple of these that we just touch on, so we don't run completely out of time. Thunderbolts, asterisk. That's all I'm going to say on that, dude. There's no shot that's any good. I'm sorry.
It could be fun. Like I think it'd be fun, whimsical based on the cast.
You can watch that in theaters and let me know. I'll catch it on D+ 13 days after it falls out of theaters.
We got Mission Impossible starting off the blockbuster season.
Now, how are you going to skip over a Final Destination movie when they ain't made one in like 10 years? Seriously. No comment on that at all? None?
No comment.
Tony Todd just died last year. We're not going to talk about that. Whatever. Lilo and Stitch. Major Disney hit. Oh, yeah, never mind. That might suck. Who knows? But Mission Impossible, the reason I'm not too hyped for that, I haven't seen the previous one in the set, and it kind of underperformed. Little went too big on the budget, couldn't get its money back, but they front loaded it clearly. You know what I mean? So maybe this recovers, but I don't know. I guess we can see what happens. The first one, when was the last Reckoning that came out? It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, 2 summers ago. It wasn't last summer; it was the summer before that.
Right, so 22, right? So we were still kind of coming out of pandemic time frame in
23.
a lot of places. Wasn't only 20? It was last year.
No, last year was 24. We're in 25 now.
It is now. Yeah, okay, whatever. So it was 22, like I said, is the year it came out. Or not, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Maybe people weren't ready to go back to theaters en masse for a Tom Cruise vehicle. I don't know. It's a fun action flick. It's nothing I would go to see in theaters anymore because I know these all go to streaming now, and I don't think I need the big screen experience. But I know you're looking forward to it. Did you really like the last one?
I did. I liked the whole Mission Impossible series. I liked the adding of people like Simon Pegg to the cast of characters. So,
great addition. What else do we have on here?
Yeah, Karate Kid Legacies or Legends.
I'm down because I'm down anytime Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi gets referenced, and this movie references him. So I'm looking forward to that. They hired a kid that can actually do his own stunt work and taught him how to act, which is a lot easier, I think, than grabbing an actor and trying to get convincing fight choreography out of him. So that could be kind of cool. It's merging the storyline from the Jaden Smith movie.
Yeah.
By bringing in Jackie Chan. So that's kind of interesting. Like they're getting every character from every Karate Kid ever.
Yeah.
You know?
I skipped one with How to Train Your Dragon live action.
Yep. Another swapping of a character there, but fingers crossed it's still good and kids like it, I guess.
Yeah. And then you have 28 Years Later, which is filmed all on an iPhone with some accessories.
Thank you. I was going to say it was a heavily loaded iPhone 16 Pro LXR with OLED, whatever. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
like $25,000 with accessories.
It's not the thing you got at Best Buy when your last plan was up on like whatever you had before that. That's not a thing. But I like the first two. I like the first one more than the second one. I think everybody did. I think this movie's well and way overdue, though, to kind of just see where the world is. I think this was in development hell for like a decade over rights reservation kind of thing with is it Danny Boyle? I think is the writer, director, creator. There's some studio nonsense that played a cluster on that for a while. Looking forward to that because they're usually pretty nihilistic and unrelenting. The music they use in the score, savage, unnerving, like it gets under your skin. So I mean, it's solid for that. A quick mention of Ballerina though. That's a spinoff from the John Wick universe.
Okay. So
that could be okay. That might be an all right action flick again. That's a streaming for me. I won't be in that for the theater.
Then we get into the heart of the summer with horror movie Megan 2.0. Then
did you see the first one?
I did not.
Maybe we would have to do a retro watch for 2. That had a lot of good word of mouth and cleared a pretty hefty it made bank.
It's all right. I heard it did pretty good. I just didn't watch it myself, just finding time.
I heard that the theater cut was a PG-13, but there's a rated R director's cut is what really threw the movie into like not cult status because it's new, but you know what I mean. It elevated its profile. The rated R cut, the director's cut is the one to watch for sure.
Then we have another Jurassic World. I believe this was the Chris Pratt universe.
Tis, and now it's also the guy that's not going to be playing Blade from a longer universe because this is what he signed on to with Scarlett Johansson. So good for him, and because there's only one Blade. Let's be honest.
And then probably due to the trailer and how much love the trailer got, the highly anticipated Superman movie.
I'm unabashedly on the hype train for this one.
I really wish it got the July 2nd, so it would come out on Independence Day weekend. I think that would have been a lot. That would have been really good.
Truth, justice, the American way. Like if they say that at least once, unironically, I'm gonna be like, yeah. I'm still. I've gone back and watched that trailer like 100 times. That one slow-mo scene where he slides in and grabs the little girl and shields her from the explosion is quintessential Superman. That's what this movie needs. Like 5 of those scenes, and it can take all my money.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We got the reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which will have Jennifer Love Hewitt in it.
Was going to ask you if they were following suit on the Nev Campbell returning to Scream thing. So this could be interesting because I didn't even know she was. I didn't know she was working. I haven't seen her in anything since like the Ghost Whisperer.
She's in Rescue 911 or 911, like Texas, whatever that 911.
Rescue 911.
It's one of those 911 shows that are out there. I mean, pretty much that dominate TV is some type of 911 show, cop show,
hospital
or
show,
fire
cop
show,
fire department. Yeah, that's what we do. Lawyer show.
Yeah,
we do lawyer shows. Cool. I mean, if it's a reboot, I don't know how that works. I mean, if it's a C, what's it say? I know. Is that just what it says? I know you did last summer. Oh, is that a 6? Is that what that's supposed to be?
No,
like on the O. It looks like the O is formed into a 6.
Yeah, I know what you did last summer.
Okay,
so it's supposed to be like a reboot with like her kids, her and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s kids. I don't know if they're bringing him back.
But that's what Scream is. That's what the Scream reboot is. It's Neve Campbell and her daughter. Do something else. It can't do it. Have you ever seen the third movie in this series? Did you even know there was a third movie?
I did know there was a third. I did not watch it
because we talked about that. I think when we did our Battle of the B Team.
I'll
always know what you did last summer. Highly recommend it for how terrible it is. You got to see it.
All right, now we're going to go into the speed round for the rest of these.
Here we go.
So going forward from I know what you did last summer. What are 2 that you're really looking forward to? Are the remainders there?
Ooh, dude, at a glance. Mortal Kombat 2, because I want to see if they can maybe redeem a little bit of what they kind of floundered on at the end of the first movie, which I enjoyed a lot, except for the main character who was pointless plot armor, average Joe shit, didn't need to be there. I'm down to see more combat because I like the style they had. I gotta cheat a little bit. I'm down to see The Running Man because it's got Glenn Powell, and I think he's the guy right now. That could be cool. That could be
he is the man right now.
What I'm talking about. So that could be cool because I've heard it's supposed to be a blend of the Schwarzenegger thing, which was wildly different from the book because I just reread the book because when I heard Glenn Powell was cast in this movie, I went out and bought the book and read it, and I'm like, wow, that could actually be interesting. Like, it'll blend 2 wildly different stories. And then Predator Badlands because I enjoyed Prey. I fell on the side of it. Wasn't perfect. It was an easy 7.5. I did like the main character. She wasn't a Mary Sue. Yes, she did defeat the Predator in a cheese fashion, but I mean, like, Arnold dropped a rock on him. I mean, I can't. What do you want me to do? I can't get butthurt. And then I don't. The rest of them are. It's a collection of crap. I haven't seen all the Conjurings. Saw 11. I saw 10. I didn't care.
Yeah, The Conjuring was the one that I was. The one I'm looking for out of those remainders there. Fantastic Four will fall in there just to see how much.
Oh yeah, totally. Missed that. Yep.
But you said the other ones. I mean, we did have fun with Friday. Was it Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yep, I enjoyed that. My son enjoyed it. And I'm sorry, my son didn't enjoy that one. He didn't see that. I saw that and told him he couldn't see it. Wasn't quite kid appropriate for the age yet. Yep.
So we'll see how part 2 does. And then apparently there's a new The Naked Gun. If y'all know the Leslie Nielsen comedy movie classics, it's not a redo. It is a sequel, just recasting with Leslie Nielsen as Lieutenant Frank Drummond. Liam Neeson. That's
Liam Neeson. You said Liam Neeson. You said Leslie Nielsen, the original guy.
No, I said Liam Neeson.
No, you did not. Run the tape back. You didn't. No,
we don't have instant replay here, and you're out of challenge flags.
That's a good point. I know. Right? Yeah, I'm down for that because, like I said, pre-show, it's an original story written by Seth MacFarlane, so I think that could be hysterical. I really like his work on the Orville and the various cartoons he's done. So yeah, dude, it's a much better looking year than I thought it was going to. Nothing here really trips my radar of concern except for the typical Marvel stuff and Snow White, and that's all at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? So it's looking pretty good.
It looks like a pretty fun year at the theater.
Very diverse genre wise. A little of this, some superheroes, some horror stuff, some sci-fi.
And especially coming off of the writer strike and the actor strike, having a lineup like this really shows that they might have had some stuff in the vault ready to go already, or how hard these film crews work to put out some quality projects. Great point.
Yeah, no, it'll be exciting. To cover all these, we might have to do a whole bunch of solo reviews just to match, because I know our schedules won't match up to cover them all.
Yeah, that's true.
We can choose to our interests. Cool. Thanks for running the show, dude. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. So that will wrap up episode 24 of FrostCast. So let's change it up a little bit. And Winter Wolf, why don't you take us out of here?
Well, see ya.